That's better. Kia ora and welcome to my kitchen, welcome to home. You're watching on Haps and hopefully a few other things as well. Nice to see you all and thank you very much for joining here on Friday morning in New Zealand. So it is Foodie Friday, so I decided to cook something again and an old Kiwi favourite. So let me just see what's happening here, some new messages. Fantastic, thank you so much for joining. Let me see what I can do here. I've got my computer running at the same time, so I'm experimenting a little bit. So here we go, we've got our fabulous Edmonds cookbook, and today we're going to make an old favourite, which is, guess what? It is Louise cake. Oh, better turn the volume down. Cool, that's better. So thank you very much for joining, and we're going to get on with it because I don't want to keep you all for too long either. Peter, awesome, we're doing the old favourite today, Louise cake from my very old book. G'day Seattle. So it is a real recipe. Thank you, Peter. It is a real recipe. I imagine the first person that ever invented this recipe was called Louise, and so that's how it's got its name. So we are going to get on with the making of this recipe. Cool. So what do we need? We need butter. Hey, how's it going, cuz? Nice to see you. Nice to see you. We need, to start with, I'm going to give you the recipe in grams and ounces. We need 2.5 ounces of soft butter. Woohoo! 2.5 ounces of soft butter. I'm just going to scrape it off the paper here. And 2.5 ounces is actually 65 grams. So that's easy. You can follow and make this recipe from anywhere in the world. Rebecca, fantastic. Nice to see. Mrs. Chu, fantastic there in Dallas. So let's just have a little scrape down here. It's Friday in New Zealand, Friday in Australia. Already been out for coffee, and I had the most delicious croissant with ham and cheese. So a bit of a Friday ritual going on here with the coffee. So there you go. That was a great little drone scope before. 65 grams of butter, and into this I'm going to add some sugar. 1 ounce of sugar, not a lot of sugar in here. Rebecca, 1 ounce of sugar or 25 grams. So I've put it on the scales and just having a little measure out. Don't be too fussy with this. Again, it's just one of those good old favourites that it doesn't matter if you go a bit over or a little bit under. Hey, fantastic Louise cake. Do you guys get this in Australia? It's in every cafe in New Zealand. And sometimes it's called Louise. Oh, a bit of butter just hit the screen. Rain will start. Oh, I'm getting a bit ferocious with the eating today. So that's it. You just mix it together. The butter is nice and soft, and just mixing the sugar in there. And next I'm going to add beautiful New Zealand eggs. Woohoo! So 2 eggs. So we just want the egg yolk going in here. So I'm going to put the egg whites into this bowl. Be careful cracking your egg whites because you actually don't want any of the yolk to go in here. So you do need to be a little bit careful. So just get the white out. If you do happen to get a little bit of yolk go in there, just scrape it out really quickly with the eggshell. Egg yolks in this one. Egg whites in this one. Sharon, awesome! Louise cake. Sharon got introduced to Louise cake in New Zealand as well. Sharon, I might need to invite you on to be my tourist weekly show at some stage because you're a real Kiwi girl. Charlene, awesome, nice to see. Not very healthy, I'm sorry, Charlene. Put the yolk in here and the white in here. Nice for a treat, this one. So when I was doing my tours, so I'm just going to put the egg whites on one side. My customers either got egg Louise cake or Afghans. Our eggs are small. Yeah, this is, I think this is mixed grade. No, this is size 7. So ours go in sizes like this, 6, I think 6, 7, 8. Yeah, JP, awesome. Yeah. So, and 7, and occasionally you'll get one a little bit small, but these are pretty even. We don't keep our eggs in the fridge in New Zealand because they haven't been washed. They're all, oh, that one's got a little bit of egg white on the bottom, but they are all, they've still got their natural cover on them, their natural protection, which is awesome. Yeah. So we don't keep them in the fridge. If you are going to keep your eggs in the fridge, you need to bring them back to room temperature before you start cooking with them. This is fun. Back in the kitchen. Let me go down a little bit too high. There we go. Oh, something's happening behind me. Whoa. Oh, that's too bad. I'm just getting this one out. I'm not going to show it to you. Oh, it's okay. I'm not going to show it to you just yet, but I do have the finished product there. So I've got 2 Louise. I'll end up today with 2 Louise cakes. So we've got going to have a lot of happy people. Okay, so in here now we need to add flour. So just ordinary flour. And we are adding 150 grams or 5 ounces. Oh, I forgot to sift. Doesn't matter with this. I was going to do it properly. I'm a very easy hands-on cook. No frills. But I was going to try and do it. 144, coming up, 46, 47, 48. Can we do it? 50, 150 or 5 ounces. And a teaspoon of, g'day Chris, how's it going? Nice to see you. A teaspoon of baking powder. So this is my old vintage tin, and I just keep, Alexis, fantastic. I just keep on filling it up every time. A teaspoon, I always make it a good teaspoon in there like that. And this has just come off here, so we just need to put this back on. There we go. It wasn't pookarooed for long. Okay, mix these together. So Louise cake is sort of very, very traditional. Yassine, awesome. Very traditional, very, very popular in New Zealand because it's a really good little pick-me-up. So in the bottom of it, there's only a little bit of sugar, but you're making a sort of like a short crust, short cake, not short crust, short cake. And that's what the mixture looks like. So it's just like that, and it's quite soft and very, very easy to spread. Fantastic to see you all. I think we have a new home on here on Haps, and we are loving it. So I've already lined my tin, as you can see here. I've got my computer going as well, so I can just see what to do, but I could join the broadcast. I've never done anything like a broadcast with my computer. So I'm just going to tip this in here. I need to try and get a little bit more adventurous, but you know, being a tour guide, it was so fantastic for me just to keep going out with my phone and showing you what was around me. So I'll just scrape, just with a knife, I'll just scrape this off here, get the best of it out. How's it going there, Alexis? What are you up to at the moment? You're always cooking up a storm, but Alexis is a little bit different from me because she's the gadget girl. I'm the hands-on girl. I like to keep it. So the reason I like to be hands-on is I don't have a very large kitchen. I'm just going to push this around a little bit now. I don't have a very large kitchen, so I don't have a lot of room for things. It's very warm here, so my butter is... I'm going to actually put a little bit more flour on top of here because it's too soft for me to, actually too soft for me to do with my fingers. So I'm just going to sprinkle the flour over the top. And that's going to make it a little bit easier so you're just pressing this into every corner here. And the extra flour is not going to make any difference. And of course, being right-handed, if I do it with my right hand, it's always a lot quicker. We're okay there with the, I'll just tune you down a bit. Whoa, there we go. So this is great for morning tea or afternoon tea. In New Zealand, we call morning tea smoko. Goes back to the old traditions of everybody stopping for a cigarette and a cup of tea. And flour just here. Yeah, so I like to be quite hands-on because I also think then it means anybody can make it. All you need are the ingredients. You could make do with any cake tin. You could make it round or square. You could do whatever you like with it. And there we go. What's that little black thing there? There we go. It's all pressed in nicely into the tin. Don't need to be too perfect with it. Just wash my hands out. Oh, hair out of the eyes, really need a net. What am I doing next? Next, we're just going to put a layer of jam. Now, traditionally, we use raspberry jam. And so you can see all the raspberries in here. And I think you should use the best quality. Oh, it's amazing. You'll have to come for smoko one day. I think you should always use the best quality jam that you can find, because this is virtually just fruit and sugar. It's really, you can see it's really, really delicious. So put a couple of spoonfuls of that on here. I'll hold it up, and then you're just spreading it. So I'm going to have to get another spoonful as well, but I like to start with 2 and just spread it into all the corners, because you don't really want any more than you need. So if you put a whole lot in to start with, you look at it all shiny and gorgeous. If you put too much in to start with, you can't really take it out. So this is where I like to just get it. I can see how much more I need. So, and just drop that in. So if you were going to a party and you want something a little bit more special, homemade, oh yes, homemade, absolutely the best. So if you want something a little bit more special, this is the time to drop in some fresh raspberries, blueberries, blackberries, anything like that. So that, and you just sprinkle these all on the top. Just sprinkle them on, and then we call that Queen Louise slice, which is cool. So that is, we've done 2, this is a 3-step recipe, so we've done 2 steps, which is pretty good. Nadine, fantastic, lovely to see you from St. John. And Barb, we're cooking in the kitchen. I need to show also, let me just turn you a little bit. Look what's on my door. Coffee, fresh premium, all the way from Niagara Falls. So, yeah, so back to our cooking. Lovely to see you, Barb. Louise cake today. You've all seen this on Periscope a couple of times, so it's quite good actually redoing these recipes, because I know they don't fail. Margaret, Elizabeth from Chicago, awesome. I'm just going to have to get this bit of butter off the screen. Oh, that's better. It was blocking out the Chicago. So there we go. Just put you down a wee bit more. There we go. Fantastic. Next step. Oh, I'll have to turn you a wee bit more over here. Next step is the egg whites. So I've got 2 egg whites just here in the bowl. The egg yolks, remember, are in the shortcake at the bottom. And I'm just going to beat these. So there'll be a bit of noise for a while. on here, I can join the broadcast. So I'm just going to join the broadcast from my join broadcast. I'm just going to see what happens here. Oh. How's it going there, Dave? So that, what are you seeing? Oh, I think you might be seeing two of me. Oh, we got a bit of a noise. Oh no, I don't want. I just want to exit the studio. Okay. Pablo, fantastic. No, that's right. Yeah. Well, no, I've got my computer over here, like just somewhere here. There, I've just got. I just wanted to see what happened. That was all. So we did the little experiment. I've got the sound turned off on the on there. But yeah, that was. I just wanted to do that little experiment while I was beating, because the beating didn't really matter. So there we go. 2 beautifully beaten egg whites. Brett, no, I've got my the sound muted on my computer. So yeah. So I was just experimenting. Don't tell me off. Don't tell me off. I was just experimenting. So into the egg whites, we need to add some sugar. Hey, we've all got to experiment sometime. Getting back to my fabulous Edmonds cookbook, the old Kiwi staple, and you can see how the recipe is. It's very, very hard to read now. It's had so much spilt on it. But camera, yes. But I do have some backup here, so if my scales fail or something happens, I do have it translated into cups. But cups are no good because our cup in New Zealand is a different size from the American cup. So, you know, it can sort of put people off a bit. So into this, we're making a meringue now. We're adding 125 grams of sugar, just white sugar, you know, processed, good old white sugar. 125 grams or 4 ounces. I never actually put that much in. I usually put a little bit less, only because I'm sort of like thinking sugar. And let me. David! Whoa, I've been missing you, David. I'm making Louise cake for you. Whoa, give this a good beat. Give this a good beat as well. Keep it nice and glossy. Finished with this. Nice to see you back, David. So there we go. We've got our really lovely glossy white egg white and sugar. I'm just going to scrape a bit of this off here because look, you get a lot left behind. A lot. I'm not going to do this for too long, but sometimes I'll do this, get it all off, but that's okay. Today, this is for you. So we're heading into a long weekend here. It is Waitangi weekend. So Monday's a public holiday. It's like New Zealand Day. And this is when we sort of celebrate and commemorate the signing of the Still metric. Yeah, yeah, they are metric, yeah. But you know, when you say a cup, it's usually a measuring cup, isn't it? Yeah, so anyway, that's good enough. We have one last secret ingredient going in here. One last. And this is the flavour of the South Pacific. It is coconut. So can you imagine raspberry jam and coconut? It is the best, the best. So it is 50 grams or 2 ounces of coconut. I'm using coconut thread because it makes it a little bit, that's 54, that'll do. Coconut thread makes it a little bit more chewy than the what do you call the shredded coconut is the very fine one. Yes, Brett. There we go. I haven't done. Oh, the beaters. Yeah, they're in the water already. I'll give you the spatula. So now, just folding this in. Oh, you'll have to have the spatula. Sorry. But yeah, remember when the kids were around? We always, yeah, they loved. Or even when we were kids, we loved getting the wooden spoon to lick. There we go. It's a lovely, lovely gooey meringue. Gooey, full of coconut and sugar. And so just spreading this on top. So just dollop it on the top here. Just dollop it. I want to get the last of it out. I'm loving this glass mixing bowl I bought. I might need to get a bigger size as well. And then you just spread it on the top. So I've lined this tin just with some baking paper or parchment paper. It does go brown really quickly on top because of the coconut. So you want to make sure that your oven is not too hot. My oven cooks a little bit hot, so I always put it on. There you go, Brett. I've left a little bit behind for you. That does look pretty cool, doesn't it? Oh, desiccated, that's it, yeah. Thanks, Barb. Always need a bit of help. Always need a little bit of help. Okay, cool. So, it's ready to go into the oven. And the recipe says bake for 30 minutes at 180 or 350 degrees. I do it at about 170. And to put it into the oven, because I don't want it to burn on the top, because the heat's going directly onto it, this is just an old piece of baking paper that I've used for Afghans and different things. I just put that on the top and put it into the oven. Woohoo! And thanks for the lick. So I'm going to put it into the oven for 30 seconds. Oh, 30 minutes, not 30 seconds. That'd be terrible. That would be a real disaster. There we go, put the timer on. Done. And voila! 30 seconds later. There we go, we have a Louise cake. So that's how it should come out of the oven looking. It's still pretty warm actually. Oh, it's good. It's really, really good. So it is, this topping cracks very, very easily. So you need to be a little bit careful when you're cutting it. A smell-o-vision. Hey, I reckon hats could do that. They seem to be able to do anything at the moment. So I'm just going to see if this will come out. It might be a little bit hot, but I do want to show it to you. So we'll do this quickly. Oh no, it's moved. So for cutting it, you actually need my favourite knife where all the enamels come off it. We've probably eaten that over the years. You need a nice thin cutting knife. Not a bread knife, not thick. You need a really nice thin knife. This is my favourite. I only use this for slicing cakes and different things. There it is. Are you allergic to egg white? Brett. Okay. Sorry. 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 Get your medication out. I shouldn't have done that. Bad cook. Bad cook. I'm going to just slice it. It's probably too hot, but so you can see it's cracking, but that's okay. You can always dust it with a little bit of icing sugar, but I do want you to see the inside of it, so that's why I'll just cut this much and show you what it looks like. Hold on, go back on there. So that's what it looks like. It's really, yeah, it's really gorgeous, JP. It's really delicious. And I usually cut it into about that bigger slice because you don't want it too big. Cafe Louise cake, or Louise slice as they like to call it these days, is very, very sweet because they put too much sugar in it because, you know, cafes are always trying to make money, not worried too much about the quality, especially of baking. So they make it to look good, but it never ever tastes so good. So that's Louise cake. Yum, yum, yum. Yeah, yum, yum. Yeah. There is something you can use instead of egg white. Vegans use it, and I just can't remember what it is now, but it's, yeah, there is something. But yeah, even like the end bits are really gorgeous where they turn the corner, where it turns the corner. Look. It's good, yeah, it does. Yeah, well, it's an old favourite. It's a Kiwi favourite in New Zealand. So that's all of that done, which is good. And I thought I'd have a little bonus for you, which is not for me, but I wanted to share something with you. You all know what this is. Kiwi fruit. So at the moment in New Zealand, this is number 4030. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. No wonder. Kiwi fruit are not in season in New Zealand, and I just bought these and they're from Italy. Oh my God. They're from Italy. Wow. I never buy imported fruit unless it's a mango or a pineapple. G'day, London, Usher. Far out. I'm really cross with myself because I don't like Kiwi fruits from New Zealand. It's not from any other country. So I'm not even going to cut it in half and show you what an Italian kiwi fruit looks like. They were expensive, and I thought, oh, it's the end of the season, so that's why they're expensive. We can't get any gold kiwi fruit in New Zealand. Yes, there is. I'll let you know, Brett. G'day, Sydney. Mel. Whoops. We've just made... Mel, I have to send you a piece of Louise cake. There it is. The other one's just gone into the oven. Ooh. Coconut raspberry jam, meringue on top. I'm so disappointed with myself for buying an Italian kiwi fruit. It's not the Italy thing, it's the imported thing. So, because I like seasonal. So where the story was going is when we can't get kiwi fruit in New Zealand. Mel, fantastic, thank you. When we can't get kiwi fruit in New Zealand, we get these beautiful kiwi berries. So kiwi berry is the size. So it's really, really tiny. You can just eat it like that. And I'll cut it in half and show you what they look like. They are I do dangerous things sometimes. Ooh, that's what they look like inside. And they're just gorgeous and really, really healthy. So this is a kiwi berry. So it's probably a little bit like a Chinese gooseberry. Yes, and similar flavour. Yeah. They are really delicious, and they have that little end on them where they've been attached to the tree. No, that's where they've been attached to the tree. The vine. And there's a little end of it. Cute. Yeah, they are, and that's what we love. But Mel, I was just saying, I bought these kiwi fruit thinking, wow, kiwi fruit are really expensive at the moment. Asha, thank you. And then I looked at the label, and it's actually been imported from Italy. It won't taste anywhere as good as the New Zealand kiwi fruit. But they're out of season here in New Zealand. So these are the only New Zealand grown kiwi we can get at the moment. Yeah, they're gorgeous. It says store chilled, but I like room temperatures because they've got more flavour. And it says product of New Zealand. Oh, the pink kiwi. Yes, that's good, Mel. There's not, well, there weren't so many of them around because they're just really experimenting with them. That's the Fero, the red kiwi fruit. Interestingly, we have 3 cargo ships that leave from New Zealand to Japan, and they are called Kakariki, Fero, and Kowhai, and that is the name of the 3 kiwi fruit. So we've got the green kiwi fruit, the Kakariki, Fero, the red one, and Kowhai, the yellow one, and these ships just go backwards and forwards. That's where all our kiwi fruit has gone now. That's why we don't have any left in New Zealand. So these ships, yeah, they're just the kiwi fruit ones. So everybody, that was it. I'm not going to keep you any longer. That's a good length of time for me. And thank you so much. Thank you for joining me on Foodie Friday. I'm off to stay at some friends for the weekend and looking after their little dog. So we might be able to do some dog walking. And this little dog's her name's Maggie, and she's a cavoodle. So we're going to be doing a bit of stuff with Maggie over the weekend. Yeah, the red ones, they're green. No, they're sort of pink and red inside, and when they're fresh, when they're new, they're quite bright, and then as they get older, they fade to a pinky colour. But they're sweet. They're really, really lovely. G'day, Denver. How's it going there, Chris? Yeah. So, Chris, this is what we've just made. Louise cake. I've got another one in the oven now. So, yes, try Louise cake. Yeah. So, do you want me to I'll read the recipe to you again. Just make sure you've got it. 65 grams or 2.5 ounces of butter, softened. Add 25 grams or 1 ounce of sugar, beat together. Add 2 egg yolks, put the egg whites in a separate bowl. Add 150 grams or 5 ounces of flour and 1 teaspoon of Edmonds baking powder. Don't get confused. Edmonds baking powder. Chantal, Louise cake is coming to Paris. So yeah, you make that into that short cake and press it into the lined tin, and then you spread it with the raspberry jam. Really lovely raspberry jam this one, just about all raspberries. Beat the 2 egg whites until they're stiff and add 125 grams or 4 ounces of sugar and 50 grams, beat that to a meringue until it's all glossy and stiff, and then add 50 grams or 2 ounces of coconut. Mix together and spread on top of the jam. Bake 30 minutes at 180 or lower, depending on your oven, 350 degrees. Chantal, it is, please, is Tim there? Show Tim. Whoa, it is good, Louise cake. The meringue always sort of like, yeah, gets a little bit puckerood on top. It's okay. So I'm trying to, when I'm broadcasting, I'm trying to give you some special New Zealand words as well, because I am planning on doing a broadcast of teaching you a bit of Kiwi English. Eleanor, fantastic. So there we go. Yeah, it just gets a bit puckerood on top. You're feeling like Louise cake, Bernie? Hey, sit down with a cup of tea, pretend. I would send it to you all around the world if I could. Yeah, show it to him later. I'll send you a picture of it, Louise cake. The 2 most popular things in New Zealand, I think, Afghans or Louise cake. And they're in all the cafes here, and yeah, everybody knows it. Anna, awesome, nice to see you all. Yeah, so that was it. So I've got another one cooking away in the oven. Ooh. So today was Puckaroo. Puckaroo means, it's actually Puckaroo, but we've sort of like Puckaroo means broken, or, you know, smashed or broken or Puckarooed. If something's Puckarooed. Yeah, so, you know, because it's interesting in New Zealand, because I think we're the only country in the world where our English language is interspersed with a lot of Maori words. So even on TV, you're hearing it all the time. So I've been reading about this recently, about how many words we incorporate daily in our speech, which is really good and really, really interesting. So yeah, so Puckaroo. Okay, I'm going to leave you all because we need to get on with what we're all doing. So there we go, Louise Cake, and thank you so much for joining me. A little bit of fun on Foodie Friday. We're heading into a long weekend, Waitangi weekend. So Monday is like New Zealand Day. We celebrate the signing of, or commemorate the signing of the Treaty of Waitangi. There we go. I will catch you all later. Thank you so much for joining me. And I will, I'll see you around here on Haps and everywhere else. I was on the beach hunting fossils, yes. Okay, I better put this down for the finish because I can't do it. Okay, thanks everybody. Take care and have a fabulous weekend. Okay, thank you. Bye from New Zealand. Thank you so much. Okay.